자, 아이저씨 아이되니 여러분께 묻겠습니다. 손흥민 푸스카스상, 손흥민 70m 드리블 무엇이 떠오르십니까? 손흥민이 질주하는 거 떠오르시죠? 자, 그 영상은 어떻게 편집했을까요? 저 같으면 키프레임을 잡아서 한 프레임씩 옮기면서 손흥민 선수의 영상을 잡았겠죠. 그런데 사실 그런 영상들은 AI가 편집하는 겁니다. 프리미어리그, NBA, NFL, 지금 손흥민 선수가 뛰는 MLS도 영상을 만들고 있는데요. 그게 전부 AI였습니다. 손흥민 선수 어떤 존재입니까? 우리 까시죠. 여러분 그게 궁금하시지 않으십니까? 경기가 끝나고 한 2분 안에 폰으로 볼 수 있는 버티컬 영상이 나와요. 이게 어떻게 가능하지? 했는데 그게 사실은 AI로 만든 거였습니다. AI가 손흥민 선수 엄청 빠른데도 그걸 추적을 하면서 편집을 하고 있었어요. 그 소프트웨어가 바로 WSC Sports라는 회사에서 만든 거였습니다. 이 WSC 스포츠의 아태지역 대표가 한국에 오셨다는 말을 듣고 제가 인터뷰를 해왔습니다. 그러면 그 기술이 어떻게 구동되는지 그리고 무엇을 위해 쓰이는지 제가 현장에서 직접 따온 인터뷰 한번 보시죠.
Good morning. Thank you for having us here. It's a nice autumn morning in Seoul, so thank you again. My name is Guy Port. I work at WSC Sports, and WSC is a technology company, and we provide an AI platform that lets the owners of sports content to automate the way that they create and distribute content as it relates to their different sports. And we let them do that automatically at scale. And if your readers have picked up their phone in the last week and they've watched any sport around the world, football, golf, baseball, cricket, rugby, it's likely that the highlights and the clips for those sports were produced by WSC technology. So I think when you talk about AI and our technology, there are two stages to how it works. The first step is indexing. So we look at a sport game live and we break that sport down into every single moment that happens, regardless of how exciting or not exciting you might think it could be. So in football, that's everything from a goal to a pass to a substitution. Should they focus on a player? Should they focus on a specific moment? And once we do that, how do we determine how to tell a story? A vertical video was 0%. It's now almost 70% of all the clips we make are in vertical. So there was no way you could do that manually, that level. So we had to come up with a way of cropping, and that's when 매직크롭 was born, where we could follow the action. And technically what we're trying to do is follow the point of interest on the screen as if a viewer was watching it itself. So if you talk about football, and I think you were asking a question about Heung-min Son, let's say he's dribbling with the ball, he is the key focus. As soon as he shoots, we want to watch what happens next with the ball moving and what happens with the keeper, and then we might go back to Son to watch him celebrate a goal. So 매직크롭 is all about following the point of interest. Interestingly, the first sport we developed 매직크롭 for was surfing. So if you think about surfing, you've got a big wave and you've got a surfer doing the tricks and maneuvers, and we were able to follow the surfer as they tracked along the wave. And that was the very first sport we built. The game is 3-4 and you left batters stranded in the 9th innings. There's a much bigger impact to the game than in the 2nd innings. So that's the type of thing where we talk about game context that we need to understand, and our AI is able to recognize scores and times and position in the game as well. There are a few steps to doing it. I think the main skill of doing a voiceover for our highlights is not about translating the original commentary. It's telling a new story. We've built a lot of data of what is in the video. We're able to use that data to write a script. And what's interesting in the translation process, the scripting is the hardest part, right? To describe, pretend that I was a news reporter to rewrite that video. Then when you start to translate into different languages, the niceties are there, that there could be certain words in tennis. How do you describe deuce point in tennis? In Mandarin or Spanish could be different. We need to account for that. In terms of the languages, and you mentioned the niceties in sort of tonality. A lot of that is up to the client as well. What type of voice do you want to choose? The benefit of AI voice, you can choose the type of character, the gender. Do you want it more positive? Do you want it more serious? So that can all be adjusted for how the clients want to tell the story. And I think that's one of the benefits we have now with the audio tools at our disposal. Okay. I think, look, I'll answer specifically in the world that we do, which is all about using vision from a live broadcast to create short form content. And in that case, we're indexing every moment of the game regardless who the player is. It could be the most famous player in the Korean national team, Heung-min Son. So really we're finding every moment regardless of who it was, and then we can decide what we use down the path. What we have now is the ability to personalize content. So yeah, it's probably less for us. We're not capturing the live production. There's a producer at the venue doing the live video. From a WSC side, we're getting that downstream. So we're getting that live post-production. I'll give you a great example in football. People love watching the players come off the bus, right? In football, here you've got a team arriving at Anfield to play Liverpool. The bus comes in, Man City, Haaland's walking off the bus. We can know that it's a bus arrival scene. We can know that it's Haaland walking off the bus and identify that. And then we can use that vision in down the track. So yes, the technology has come a long way to go from just whistle to whistle to start finding those interesting moments around the game. So I think generative AI has become a real opportunity in sport. There are a few things that I'd talk about. The large language models, they're fantastic models out there. What we've learned in sport is you really need to train it on sport first, which is different to greater environment. At WSC, we probably ingest 500,000 games of sport a year. So we're able to use a lot of data and information we collect from that scale purely about sport. And where generative AI has come in is because we don't no longer need to rely on only what was created by the video and the audio from the live game, but we can build new storylines off that. We've spoken about audios and voiceovers. We're talking about doing new versions of skins and opportunities on the video itself. So if you think about an example is Australian Open tennis had a version of a game, the live normal version, and then had a version that was like Nintendo Wii Tennis. Do you see that one with the players playing? That type of ability is on the back of generative AI. Having avatars telling a story about a game that's on is something that we can do now. So I think modernizing some of the vision and particularly putting it in a format for younger audience, that's where the generative AI tools are really coming to their own now. As for the Korean market, from a WSC perspective, we're relatively new in Korea. We've been here for a couple of months. We're having some great discussions with the leagues who are really keen to use this technology. And I think what I'll say for the moment is hopefully you'll see some of new rollouts of this technology and innovation in Korea very, very soon. Thank you.